See, it's the weird alien noises. Those are my favorite thing about effects like this. The stuff that you can't really plan. Anyway, hey, this is John Bohlinger with Premier Guitar. We're taking a first look at the brand new MXR Layers. So before I tell you all about this very cool pedal, take a second to subscribe below. Thank you very much. That way we can keep you up to date on all the cool new gear that's coming out. Let me tell you about my signal chain. This is my old, highly modified 1952 Les Paul. And on the ground, I've got an Ernie Ball volume pedal, and I've got a Keeley Nobles overdrive. Other than that, everything you're hearing is from this Marvel, the MXR Layers. I'm running from the Keeley into the Layers. The Layers is being powered with its own proprietary power, which is a good idea. It runs at a 9-volt, 300 milliamps. So a lot of pedal boards don't always put out that kind of juice. So you're wise to use the power that comes with it. It sounds great like that. But again, my pedal board has those options as well for the 300 milliamp. That's just a little side note. From there, I'm running into my old late 60s Super Reverb, and it's being mic'd with a Roswell mic, and then going into an Apogee 8, and then out to you all. So there it is. So let me tell you about this very cool pedal. In its simplest form, the Layers is a sustain pedal. However, what's so cool about it is it sustains layers of sustain. So you can get either a single sustain with the hit of that button, or multiple, 3 different ones. And it's those stacks that really makes it interesting. Now, that in and of itself is pretty cool. However, when you get into some of the deeper sides of it, there's a way to manipulate, I guess, the modulation, the diffusement, the delay time, all these things that kind of add to this analog, kaleidoscope of sound that's just kind of widening around each other. It's a little hard to describe, but I think the best I can do is sort of twist some knobs and show you what it does. They've really thought of everything. You get stereo out or mono. We're running mono right now. You can run a dry wet, which that's the application I would really love to do, because then you could have the insanity on one amp combined with more kind of a straight thing. So you could get these big kind of droney bits coming out of one, and then then play over the top on the other amp without it affected. That, I think, would be the ideal application. But for right now, this is just a first look. We're just kind of plugging and going, so we're going mono straight in. So you can control it right there with the switch on it, or you can use a switch on the ground like this one right here, which is way more convenient for me. We did a rig rundown yesterday with Chris Buck, and he had so many pedals underneath his pedal board that were being run through a gig rig. So something like that, an application where you can have a pedal buried and have the on and off, somewhere else is very practical. I like that. Okay, so how does this thing work? Essentially, when there's a note you want to sustain, just hit that note, press that. Mix will give you how much you want, and as long as you're holding this, it will sustain. So as long as I've got that depressed, and the great thing is you can either do it with that or with a secondary control running out right here. So that's how you engage it. Now let's get around into some of the other switches. Right here we have the mix, so obviously that's going to handle how much you hear of it. Here we go. Now there's a secondary function with this mix. It also controls the modulation. So essentially, get it going, push the single button, and you can hear how that mod changes. And the rest of the knobs also have a secondary function we'll get into. Okay, then going across the top, the next thing is the Trig knob. Essentially, there's two ways to engage this, either with the switch, or you can use the trigger and the intensity of your playing will make it kick in. So this here light shows you kind of the threshold where it kicks in. Watch it light up when you lean into it. Nice, so you get that. It gives you real control. So lean into it and it gives you that layer. Love that effect. Now the secondary function on the Trig is really cool. It affects the delay time. So when you engage the single switch in the center with it, you can control the delay. So that's a pretty cool feature right there. And in fact, I think that just the delay alone is kind of cool. Just a cool delay. So that's great, that secondary feature. Now, the button that I'm switching to engage those is the single button. And essentially what that does, right now we've been hearing 3 layers, but if you want a little more control and only 1 layer at a time, you engage that, and it will just give you 1 layer at a time. So let's hear what that does. So. Little more control, I like that. Now down here, the switch below is a sub-octave. So essentially engage that and you'll get the octave below. And it does not affect, when you engage the sub-octave, if you have a layer already going, it won't affect the ones that are already going, only the ones you play after you engage it. So for instance, we get it going. Gets a little crazy down there. Next up, we have the attack. Essentially, that's how quick it's going to ramp up. So here we go. Or get into it a little bit slower. So you can see when you're way over there, it takes a little while for it to ramp up. Again, these things, I think part of the magic of effects like this is that they sort of do what they're going to do. You're not always in control. But I like that. I know in a lot of sessions, I like taking chances with things like that because you can get some real magic. And there's also a secondary feature with the attack. When you engage a single switch with it and you twist it to the left, you're going to get chorusing, and to the right, you can get tremolo. So let's hear that. So you can kind of hear how it gets this sort of subtle tremolo-y thing or chorusy thing, depending on which way you set it. And of course, there's the factory presets kind of put in what they think are the sweet spot, but you can tweak all these and get them where you want them. Finally, we have the decay knob. As it is, as long as you're holding down this knob, it's going to keep ringing. But if you turn the decay way up, you can set it wherever you want to hold as long as you want without holding it down. So right around there we get. And you can set it all the way to infinite where it just never ends, or you can make it something kind of quick. Great to have that kind of control. So the secondary function of the decay is diffusion. If you want more diffusion, crank it all the way up, less, go the other way. I'll give you a quick example of that. So if you're doing a sci-fi soundtrack, man, would that come in handy. So MXR has packed a ton of sounds in this tiny MXR housing. It's really incredible, and there's so many sounds in here that as I've been messing with it for the last couple of days, I keep kind of finding more cool things. Now controlling them, that takes a little while. You sort of have to work with it a while to gain control. But I think they totally nailed it. Now to read the full written review, go to premierguitar.com. While you're online, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, all that, social media crap. Subscribe to the magazine, why not? Go ahead and read. It's still a good idea. This is John Bohlinger. Till next time, let's get trippy.